are you paying attention to me? That is another big thing, because as an INFJ, I pay so much attention to the person that is talking that I would like to know that they are paying attention to me too. This means that they are not on their phone, they are not checking around the room. Like, yes, you should look away every now and then, because if you're just staring all the time, that's creepy. But, you know, there's a fine line between breaking eye contact for a social norm or just looking around, eyes glazing over, and, you know, just not really paying attention to what I'm saying. That is, like, literally, I will stop talking in the middle of a sentence sometimes just to see if the person that I'm talking to is listening. Yep. So let me know if you do that as well, because I found it to be very helpful. And it's kind of sad sometimes, but you know, you get the information that you need. Today I really wanted to answer one of the questions that I had gotten, and so we're going to look into what piques an INFJ's interest. These are going to be questions that I usually think of when anybody's trying to get my attention, so they are good to know, and if these resonate with you, please leave me a comment, let me know. So for me, what piques my interest is like a certain set of questions, and so like I said, this is stuff that I'm usually asking of the other person. I don't literally ask it out loud, I ask it to myself. The first one is, are they draining me? Because if they are draining me, then, you know, obviously I'm gonna move on. But if they are not draining me, then that is intriguing and very interesting. And usually when I walk into some sort of room, I can tell who's draining me and who isn't. I'm able to pinpoint that. So I usually gravitate towards the person that obviously doesn't drain me as much as the others. So the second thing that I really do ask is, can they understand me? And that's another thing where, again, you have to chit chat with them for a little bit. But if they're able to understand me and they're able to level with me on certain things, that is really interesting to me. And then, you know, I want to know why they can understand me, and we just get down a whole rabbit hole on that one. So we also have, can you hold a decent conversation? Because I think so much in my free time that I really don't want to have to be the first person to always bring up a topic or to always continue a conversation. I will, don't get me wrong, I can, but it's not always, like, I don't want to be the only person. You know what I mean? Yeah, you probably know what I mean. If you've had, and also if you do agree with any of these, please leave me a comment below and let me know which one is your favorite or your first thing or your top one as well. So, do you actually know what you're talking about? That is something else that I usually ask, like, do they know what they're actually talking about? Because if they don't and they're just trying to, like, get my interest for no apparent reason, then it's really, like, I lose respect for them. That's the easiest way for me to put it. I just tend to lose respect for that person because it's like forcing a conversation, and like I've said before, I am not somebody to force anybody to do anything, and I really don't want to be forced to do anything either. So I would really rather not have a conversation with somebody who's forcing it. Next, are you paying attention to me? That is another big thing, because as an INFJ, I pay so much attention to the person that is talking that I would like to know that they are paying attention to me too. This means that they are not on their phone, they are not checking around the room. Like, yes, you should look away every now and then, because if you're just staring all the time, that's creepy. But, you know, there's a fine line between breaking eye contact for a social norm or just looking around, eyes glazing over, and, you know, just not really paying attention to what I'm saying. That is, like, literally, I will stop talking in the middle of a sentence sometimes just to see if the person that I'm talking to is listening. Yep. So let me know if you do that as well, because I found it to be very helpful. And it's kind of sad sometimes, but you know, you get the information that you need. All right, then, can I feel your feelings? And this is usually a yes, but there are some people where I don't get as strong of a feeling, and then that makes me wonder, why can't I feel their feelings? So this piques my interest in certain ways because, you know, it's not something that I'm used to. So it's kind of like a blind spot for me. And then I don't know, it just sends me into this weird spiral type of thing. But if you know what I mean, then, you know, I'm right there with you. So next, it's, are you interrupting me when I talk? If they do interrupt me when I talk, it's just a kind of a norm because a lot of people tend to do that. But if you're not interrupting me when I'm talking, that's fantastic, and that really piques my interest. Are you letting me talk? That's another thing. It's not necessarily as bad as interrupting, but there are a lot of times when, you know, the other person is going to control the conversation. And I'm fine with that, but I would like to get a few words in edgewise. You know, it's not, I don't want to be the main person talking. I do like to listen, but I want to be able to, you know, validate the other person or ask them some questions or whatever it is. Like it shouldn't just be like, this, and 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 this. And it's like, okay. And then they continue on the exact same way. And you're like, you don't even want to talk to me. You just want to talk. You know what I mean? It's just not, so that is something that would turn me off. But again, if it's the other way around, if it's the flip side of that, then that does pique my interest because again, it's not fully something that I'm used to. So, are you showing me that I matter on a personal level? This one's kind of hard to do for other people to me because I have like specific things that show me that I matter. And of course, this list also does, you know, kind of illustrate what I mean by that. But there are certain other things like, are you asking me deep enough questions? Are you not minimalizing what I'm saying? Are you being empathetic, not sympathetic or, you know, again, minimalizing, but are you actually being empathetic and hearing me and wanting, like, letting me continue to talk, I guess? Are you asking the right questions to get me into a deeper conversation? And again, I may or may not say it's too personal, but you know what I mean. So, are you positive or negative? That one is a big one for me as well. Just because you're positive doesn't mean that you are never negative. That is not at all what I mean by this. What I do mean by this is that, you know, you're more optimistic on a whole level, or you talk up with others, not down. You know, you talk up yourself. I do not like people who are self-deprecating. I am not a fan of, you know, people that make fun of other people in order to just make themselves feel better. Like, these are all traits that really should not even be part of the human race, but unfortunately they are. So I really, really always hope that people are more positive than they are negative because it's life. It's hard enough as it is. Don't make it any harder for yourself or for others. Like, just, it's common courtesy, you know? And are you accepting of others? This is also a very big one for me because it's just, I need to know that I can be myself around you and not, you know, just the outward image that I tend to portray sometimes. It's not, how do I explain this? You don't have to agree with everything that I'm saying. You can, like, by all means, I actually encourage people to disagree with me, but it's in the way that you do it, and it's in the way that you word it as well. Some people, you know, they don't show their emotion in the way that they're talking, or they just automatically flip to, if I'm saying my opinion about something and they disagree with it, then somehow their disagreements with what I'm saying transfers into they don't like me anymore. And that just doesn't make sense to me because, you know, my opinion is my opinion. It's my life. You know, I'm not going to tell you to not have something going on for your life, so it doesn't really make sense, you know what I mean? So that is my list. Please give me a like, subscribe, and comment down below, and then I will see you in the next video.